Hello, how are you? This is Edgar Fernandez from Safefficient Limited. The topic of today is positive relationship between the Internet of Things and safety. Also, this video is gonna be converted to a podcast. You can find my podcast at soundcloud.com/sufficient. Well, today, like I said, a positive relationships between the Internet of Things and safety. Um, Actually, it's a very interesting topic. One of the goals of the fourth industrial revolution is to make the industry more effective in all aspects. They call sometimes is to make factories very intelligent, very smart, and safety is not excluded. So actually, in this age of changes, um, organizations will have a great opportunity to carry safety beyond compliance. So when I said that is one of the biggest problems that safety is being faced or has been faced for many times, is the organizations stop in compliance. What I'm saying this is having conversations with many people. So they when I always ask for safety, they say we have an excellent program, and then you ask, and then the typical answer is but one of the most typical is they said we are okay. We complied with the safety standards and regulations. We have many inspectors have come to our site to review it, and we are okay. We are perfect. So actually, that answer it's telling me two things. One, you stop in compliance, so you are not taking your safety program into the another level because you believe that you don't need it. One, unfortunately, safety is being seen as a compliance only. And actually, I can say that because I did a research. And my research says that in North America and the United States, between 2015 and 16, the fatalities increased 7%. And in Canada, although it's been reduced, still we have 850 fatalities in 2016. So that number is telling me that we are not doing something right. And that is because we stop in compliance. So what's going to be the challenges that we're going to face in this for industry revolution that is already started? And many and some people they believe that it's not happening, it's not gonna impact the industry, and it's impacting the industry already. And changes are gonna come more and more by 2020. That is a year and a half, and by 2025 inclusive, that's the impact is gonna be great. It's gonna be great in numbers, in economy, and people who are adjusting to that companies, they're gonna survive. Others, unfortunately, I would say they can die. But obviously, our job is to avoid that happens, and it's very simple, but um, it's gonna force the organizations to make a great efforts on that. So and this is the things because it's very well known that nobody likes changes. We hate changes. We like our comfort zone, and companies are the same. So this industrial revolution 4 is going to push the organizations to do two critical things, and it's here with those two critical things is when organizations they're gonna survive, they're gonna be able to adapt to the new demands of the market, and they continues they can keep going. And actually, those industries that have been adapting very well nowadays is the mining and the oil and gas industries. Those two they are way ahead from the other ones in terms of using Internet of Things in safety to prevent injuries, to prevent fatalities, to prevent fires, to prevent any occurrence, and they can actually predict that. So one is change to management because actually having that trend and taking advantage of that technology, and in other words, to be benefit from that technology, you need require change to management. That I'm not talking about management of change at all. The change to management is changing the perspective of your top to your steering committee, the people who are in the top management positions. They need to become more leaders instead of managers or directors or CEOs or vice presidents. because that is gonna go is gonna go to the second challenge that we're gonna have, is listening to the employees and workers' perspective. That's gonna be a key. So now you need to be more approachable, and you need to be more as a leader that's gonna go to the people, talk to them, and see what's happened with them and what they have to say. So that's those two things. I think if we are able as an industry to do it, the injuries and fatalities are gonna decrease in a very fast pace. Nowadays, according to my investigation, and the numbers that are reflecting that here in North America, we are saying that we are not doing that. And then I wanna go to the next slide and say that, and well, we wanna see why. 40% of the data is going to be generated. It's going to be generated by these technologies. So I can give you one example. You have in safety, you have a fire suppression system. Obviously, that technology is going to tell you when it's been activated, the reasons why it has been activated, etc. And also, your supplier is going to give you more information about that and about about your system. And actually, that information you should be able to assess, to learn from there. And our job is to working on the other 60 now, 40%. It's this technology engineering data, and the 60% that is from us, we need to assess this information. But when I said that is that mean we want to record a change to management, and we need to listen the perspective of employees. This number is gonna scare you a little bit, and that's the reason why we have these numbers are too high in injuries and fatalities. The data collection usage it's less than 1%. So we invest actually in a lot of technology right now on the fourth industrial revolution. We have knowledge management programs. We have continuous improvement management programs. Actually, the ISOs they were reviewed and updated to version 2015 that is tackling more the behavioral management, how they gonna make decisions. But the reason, I mean, is still, if we don't assess the 99% of the data that is being generated for this technology, still, you don't, if we, as an industry, as an industry, we don't do that, the effort is, it's going to be effortless. So we need to analyze, we need to assess, we need to start assessing more data. And that is the two challenges that the other industries they're going to have. The Internet of Things generate 90% of the important data for our organization. Not even for the client, it's for us. 90%. So if you are spending a lot of money in technology or bringing new technology to your organization or company, make sure that data that it's going to generate, it needs to be assessed, needs to be studied, needs to be collected. Because at the end, this technology actually is affecting the way of making decisions. It's going to affect the decision making of your organization to survive in the fast-paced changes that we are suffering right now, that we are facing right now. Behaviors of people have changed. The learning of people, how people learn has changed. Safety has changed. Safety is not more than as a knowledge right now. It's more how you approach the people on the floor, the workers, and how you assess that information. That's the key. And it's gonna be that is gonna be stronger and stronger, more and more strong. It's much more stronger and stronger than before. So that data is gonna be critical. And actually, that's the reason why it says change to management. What we do right now, I don't want to criticize anybody. We said it's workers' behavior, and we tackle workers' behavior. We have done that since 25 years ago, and there is no results because the numbers show that a lot of fatalities. But if you do the change to management and you start listening to the perspective of your workers, now that less than 1% is going to become 99 point something percent that we need to assess, and that's going to be your success. That's going to be your success, not only in safety, in maintenance as well. So you're going to reduce maintenance cost by predicting scenarios in your industry. The oil and gas and the mining industry, they do that already. So they can reduce those maintenance costs. They can be more effective but more efficient, more effective in the maintenance and more efficient in using their resources. The Internet of Things will impact the mine. I mean, imagine they're gonna impact the mining and the oil and gas industry by 2025, from 160 billion to 930 billion dollars. They're gonna impact the economy. So they're gonna facilitate more, but it's who is gonna be able to access the data. That's the person that's the company that's gonna succeed. Remember, actually, now in the fourth industrial revolution, we are talking about artificial intelligence, virtual augmented reality, etc., etc. But these technologies are nice, by the way. But if you don't collect the data, you're gonna spend a lot of money and nothing is gonna happen. And actually, you're gonna increase your cost, your debt, and you won't survive. And the reason is not the technology. The reason is we don't, like I said in my previous slides, it's we assess less than 1% of the data that this technology generates. And this technology generates the 90% of the data that you need. Imagine that. So it's very interesting. And then the impact, it's great. I mean, it's huge in the economy of inclusive of the countries as well. So safety has been part of the aspects of facility of an operations facility, so it's not going to be excluded. But our duty as a safety professional is now we need to change the perspective of tackling workers' behavior or base safety. Now is to assess the data and taking the perspective of the employees, what they think, and sharing ideas as well. Like I said, and actually it's a great opportunity to end this presentation. One of the things is a great opportunity to generate talent as well. One of the problems of safety actually is you have a high employee turnover. That is a huge problem for safety, because you need to start retraining. And actually, by saying retraining, the training methods, they're gonna change as well. People, they learn from different, I mean, they have now people learn from different sources. Digital actually is one of the best, always one of the most important. So you're gonna be able to generate talent. So you're gonna spend that amount of money. Make sure change to management is have a point of view of generate talent as well. And it's gonna be a good opportunity to tackle turnover as well. Hopefully this presentation will help you to see that the Internet of Things and safety, it's a great and a positive relationship by the future. But you need to conclude, you need to do two things. And actually, and it's one, it's you're gonna generate knowledge by actually engaging and encouraging workers to learn more. And the policymakers actually, they're gonna be able to frame. They're gonna be able, and they need to frame this data. They need to framework this data, and the reasons why is because they need to protect it. This data is gonna be the intellectual property of the organization. It's, like I said, it's gonna affect the decision-making process that we carry the safety programs beyond mere compliance. And the number says that. At the same time, it's imperative to know how to decode this knowledge. I mean, sharing ideas, promoting that to benefit safety, and by using this technology. And now I'm seeing in the industry now is fighting to that. And the reason why it's fighting is because now companies and organizations, they need to change. People are changing a lot. The way of see things actually are changing, and not only millennials. It's a Generation X, that is the generation that graduated from the 90s, for example, late 80s, early 90s. So it's not only for millennials, inclusive baby boomers that have changed the ways to see things, and that's the things that we see now. And industry like the oil and gas and mining, they have recognized that, and they start going through that path. Sooner or later, I would say sooner than later. The industries, they need to go to that way. And though, and like to finish this presentation, there are two aspects that they need to recognize. It's the change to management. Instead of being more managers, they need to be more they need to behave more as a leaders, not as a managers. Management makes only to use your resources more effective and more efficient. Leadership now, it's encouraging people to do things, and also and then that's consequently you need to know the perspective of your workers and employees as well. So thank you very much. That's something that I wanted to share with you about the fourth industrial revolution and the Internet of Things. So to finish, what we do in Safefficient Limited is we work with honest and open-minded and forward-thinking people. It's very important. And actually, the fourth industrial revolution is demanding that. Open and forward-thinking people, and honest. It's the way that we need to approach our workers in a very sincere and genuine way to start sharing those ideas. So we created the Experiential Knowledge Engineering Solutions program. What is that? Actually, this program is going to help you to decode the tacit knowledge. So in other words, it's to understand and optimize your people's build up expertise and ideas as well. They build up ideas and expertise to collect this tacit knowledge. That's the thing that we do. How we do it? By speaking, working, and encouraging them to participate, and also by having a high engagement from you guys, from management. That's going to help you also to build strong relationships with your employees, that as a consequence, they will see us as a resource of sharing ideas, not as an engineers. They're going to forget that we are engineers or managers, etc. That's the thing that we do with this program, actually. So at the end, what you're going to have an multiple sources of data to assess. So we apply engineering principles to find a design and tailor solutions for you. That's the thing that we do. We find and tailor solutions for you that nowhere or you will find. Only you want to have it because it's your intellectual property. That's the thing that we do in Safefficient Limited, and also we help you to avoid the untapped tacit knowledge traps. So remember, the data is only 1%, so we help you to decode the other 99%. Thank you very much, guys. See you next time. Bye.